Hey guys, Luna here with the Artisan Tarot. Thank you so much for joining me for your Fae blessings. I did just want to go ahead and tell you guys a couple of announcements. So I will be using a Lens Rider tarot deck for the full moon reading that is coming up. There's a full moon in Libra on the 16th of March. So basically Easter weekend, we have a full moon. I'm not surprised. That's usually how full moons work. They always kind of coincide with major holidays. That is available on Patreon for $35. You get 44 minutes of a general view, seeing what the full moon in Libra is bringing. And I do discuss certain things in there that, like energies and how the moon works and, how it's going to feel and what it's going to look like. So definitely check that out again in Patreon. It is in a tier of Patreon. And I just wanted to point out that the video as far as the Patreon for the full moon is split into two, and it's just mainly because doing the iMovie app on my Mac versus my phone is way more harder and complicated, so that's why it's split in two. Okay? So let's go ahead and go forward. Now, originally, this was for you. I started off with you, Libra. I felt like you guys kind of needed me again. And before I forget, your Isis Oracle spells, rites, rituals, and incantations have been posted. Now, I actually pulled jumper cards from this deck. That is also on Patreon. I have it going for $80. And it lasts a month. You get either one ritual. Usually it's one ritual, one rite, spiritual rite, or passage. I also go through the lessons and incantations, and these are all based on unconditional love and trust. So these are for each zodiac sign, and I wanted to point that out too. They're already available. They last a month, so I won't be posting another one until May, okay, guys? But definitely check that out because they're going to teach you more about unconditional love. Like, yeah, right, spells and rituals are pretty cool. Some of them are very unique too. They're never the same, but with this one, it really gets you to go within yourself. So if that is what you are wanting to do, my loves, on my Patreon for $80. Okay. So now that we have that done and over with, we can get into our Fae blessings for Easter. Now, I don't know if you guys know this, but Easter was actually a holiday that was originally a pagan or fairy holiday. I'm more of a fairy person, so I always say it was a Fae holiday first. Now, that being said, let's go ahead and get into it, Libra. And, guys, make sure to like, share, and subscribe if you haven't. And don't forget, these energies last a week, and they manifest only in the 3D reality, okay? So while, yes, the Fae do go into other realms and the ethers, they still ground 3D manifestations through the earth plane, okay? That's very important to remember because these are what's unfolding in your present week. Now, Easter is very special, especially for the Fae, since it is associated with them, and the mythology behind it, it used to be called Oystera, I believe, or O-S-T-I-E-R-A, I believe is how you spell it, Osteria. If I am saying that wrong and you are Wiccan or pagan, I apologize. I'm self-taught, okay, so when it comes to the pagan holidays and their folklore. So if I'm wrong, I apologize. Don't get on my ass about it, okay? Thank you. I love you guys. But I prefer being grammatically correct, okay? Maybe that's a me thing. But anyway, Libra. Also, if you would like to leave me a tip, you may do so in my emergency link in my description box down below. That's where the Patreon links are going to be. And the full moon session, it'll all be there, as well as my tip link. So if you want to leave me a tip link or book an emergency reading with me, down in the description box below, my friend. All right, show me for Libra, my beautiful Seelie Fae beings, what is coming through for Easter for Libra. Now, Easter is an interesting time for the Fae because it is, like I said, a fairy holiday. Libra, oh my God, yes, I'm so sorry. This is one of my absolute hands down favorite cards to get in this deck. Now, why? It came up for Scorpio last week, and the week before it came up for Sagittarius. So it's kind of interesting to see how these cards are coming through. But this is your blessing for the week. the blessing of liminal space. Now, this card actually talks about tween times or tween spaces. Tween times in Fae folklore is it's exactly what it sounds like. It's a space that lies in between a point. And that doesn't sound very clear, but when I give you the example, you're going to get it. So you know how there's, when it's a beautiful sunny day and there's shadows that are casted by the trees, but then there's light, the Fae come through those realms. Same thing with an open closed door. Same thing, like it's a tween space. That's why forests are such a big deal for the Fae, because it is a tween space, okay? Even water, I feel, is kind of tween, because it is hydrogen and oxygen. And even though chemically, even though chemically we understand it as science, still it creates a tween space. That's why water is so heavily connected to spirit, why the water signs are connected to spirit so well, and how they can tap into psychic ability extremely well. Tween spaces for me is also when you dream. Because for me, this also has to do with the moon. Now, Amy Brown, when she did this was actually, I want to say this was in one of the last art books I had from her, this energy. Or it came out a little bit after. But I know she was inspired by the moon, because she had like a whole bunch of moon fae series with like moon fairies. And this is definitely moon fairy, moon fae blessings. I feel like this is definitely the full moon hinting to you that there is a major pull here, that you have easy access to the Fae realm right now because of this tween energy. So Libra, that is something to keep in mind. Also, this is where I'm going to tell you tween spaces also happen between dusk and dawn. That's why dream realm is easy for them to access us or to get work done. And even not just with the Fae, but even in spirit realm, it's easy for us to access the spirit realm because it is a tween space. It is a tween space between all timelines, realms, and dimensions, which is very interesting, right? So that's how it's like time travel. But dreams, you can also time travel in dreams. So if you are interested in doing dream work, this is the week to do that, especially because it is a full moon, Libra, in your sign, which your second house is connected to Scorpio. Scorpio is highly psychic, highly intuitive, and I'm talking about on the general wheel for all you natal people who know your natal second house. That is not for you. If you are interested in getting an astrology reading with me, please, please, please send me an email or something, because I actually do natal chart readings. I do natal chart progression, asteroid belt, like hyper belts, you name it, I do it. Basically, past life astrology, past life asteroid reading. It's a lot. I have done astrology for at least 13 years, and I fucking love it. Let's put it like that. That's how much I love it. I freaking love it that much, and that much in my energy, that I get that enthusiastic about it. So the thing is with the blessing of liminal space, this isn't just like, oh, tween realms, and yes, it is awesome to change realms, but it's also about working with time. And when you work with the Fae, I don't know if you guys have noticed, I mean, I have, but it's because I work with them now more directly than indirectly. Time for me has flown by extremely quick. I'll look up and it's 8 o'clock, and the next thing I know, it's 11, and it only feels like maybe it's been an hour. That's kind of what happens with the Fae. Another example of a tween space is a fairy ring. Do not go in a fairy ring. I am telling you right now, don't do it. Do not do it. If you do it, bad things usually happen to humans who go through Fae rings, okay? So I'm just letting you know, don't do it. Oh my God, my headphones, I don't know if y'all could hear that ding. It just went off. So that's so funny. It was like, ping, you're right, like in my ear. So yeah, that's why I'm like, don't. That is the one tween space I'm going to tell y'all, don't fuck with it, please. Because I don't need messages in my inbox later saying, I went through a fairy ring and now I have all these energies. I told you not to do it. You did it anyway. You clean that freaking mess up. Because I'm not doing it, okay? So if you want to connect to a tween space, you can go near it. Just don't go through it, okay? And a fairy ring is usually like with a bunch of mushrooms in a place. Sometimes it's mushrooms interwoven. Sometimes it also can occur in a forest or a meadow. So just be aware. Sometimes it's one circle. Sometimes it's a circle in a circle, okay? So you can be near it. Just do not walk through it, okay? So So another great example of using the blessing of liminal space, because it's not just about time travel. Like I said, this is also moon energy, moonology, full moon energy. This is actually moon magic too. And I had to kind of explain to Scorpio and Sagittarius, it was more about them getting emotionally into, the spirit world. Cosmologically, they're connected. You, on the other hand, Libra, total disconnection. You don't understand that. But you understand time and you understand dimensions, because that is air energy. So, and it has to do with technology, but this isn't your normal technology, okay? This is moon technology, which, by the way, being of the moon, like my last name really is Luna. I am a descendant of the moon, like legit, okay? So I'm telling you, when I tell you this is to getting in touch with energies, deities, and or guides that are associated with the moon. Specifically, since it's coming up on a full moon, I would say full moon and waning moon. Because since this is a crescent, and I didn't pull this during a waxing moon for you, I pulled it during the full moon. So a full moon is about manifesting everything at its complete and total manifestation or apex of what you want. Its fullest possible desire, okay? I actually was born during a full moon. I was born the second day, the day the moon went the fullest. So fun story. So that's why it's like I know so much about the moon. So because I'm literally ruled by it, y'all. But the thing is about a full moon manifestation is it's everything. It's like you can just put a wish out there and it will go into the Fae realm and they'll act on it. So be intentional with your wishes. That's why when we pull your Isis Oracle, it's taking this and grounding this energy down into the 3D for the next month. Even though this card may change next week, you'll still be able to ground through ritual, the spell incantations and or rites. So that are rites of passage, okay, through the Isis Oracle. And also moon deities. Moon deities are huge with this card. This is definitely using the Fae energy, the moon Fae energy, to connect to guides, guardians, and deities, such as Hecate, the triple goddess, okay, the triple goddess, which would be the maiden mother crone. Hecate is one of them. Persephone is one of them. The crone, I would actually think, could be the Fates, but it could also be Demeter. Sometimes Artemis is in there. Selene is included in that. The goddess Selene, the goddess Luna is included in that. But also, for my men out there, Moon Knight, I actually did the research on this because I usually work with feminine moon energies, but there actually is a masculine moon energy in Egyptian lore that has the exact name of the god in Moon Knight. Okay, so which is pretty badass if you don't mind me saying so. Even though, yeah, it's Marvel, but still, when you get to know the mythology, he's a god of protectors of travel and getting evil spirits away. And also, most moon goddess energy, it deals with also Astride, which would be Hecate's mother. She is a goddess of the night, goddess Nyx. Oh, she's awesome. Goddess of the night, goddess of bringing the night to us and traveling, because she travels to bring night to us, okay? And she lives in the depths of Tartarus. Everybody's afraid of her, but she's actually like really gentle if you know how to work with her. Hecate, same way. But Hecate is one of those goddesses that like, she is no bullshit, okay? When I say that, you don't go to her and say, oh, I think I kind of want to work with you. She's either you do or you don't. She'll kind of like mess with you if you are not. That's how I've seen it. If you are not aligned in your intention to her. Persephone, on the other hand, is more spring energy, still goddess of the underworld energy, but she understands us from a perspective of youth and how it can get stolen from us, and also, you know, overseeing everything and making things recreative and beautiful. But also there is that sexual aspect in the underworld that she holds, because Hades, unfortunately, is not a moon god. Not to me, he's more underworld because that's what his station is. But with this moon energy, with the blessing of liminal spaces, you know, also moon energy, you could even connect to the goddess Freya, which I recommend if you're going to work with moon energy, not just the deities, but the moon fae. You might want to connect with her, because shamanism in Viking culture, which the goddess Freya rules over all things fairy, but she is Viking culture as well. Her thing is satyr, and that is the feminine version of shamanism in Viking culture, satyr. And it is only solely for women. Now, Odin, the Allfather, or who I call Valfather, that is actually his, like, one of his names, Valfather. He is not necessarily associated with the moon, but I wouldn't rule him out because he does work with the dreams and dream realm and prophecy, but through runes. And he's actually one to be, oh, he's so fun to work with too. He's awesome to work with. Like, he is one of those guys that he gives you very clear messages. He usually, again, only works with women, but he only works with women who are spiritually, like, ept. Like, women that are in the Viking terms, they used to call them vulvas, which are sorceresses, but not only sorceress, but they can be prophesizers and or mages, which pretty much is someone like me. So, but that doesn't mean he still won't come to you if you're not at my level. That's okay. I think if you need an important message, you can definitely say Valfather or Odin or however, just make sure you get his name right, okay? It would upset me if y'all didn't get the name right. So just ask him if he could show you something in the dream realm through the face, something that you, either a message, because this is also about messages too, because if they're traveling through different realms and timelines and dimensions, this is all about shifting. So the full moon is also when messages can be sent like that. You can do, I know of a ritual. I have done it. It does work. That's the beauty of the blessing of liminal space, actually, guys. So this is the Fae blessing that I have for you. Again, we're going to go into further rites and rituals. And I know the cards that I pulled for y'all had at least 2 rituals that I know of, that I can remember that I did for this month. And then going into May, I don't know what that entails, but we'll see next month for that, for your Oracle deck. Other than that, if you would like more clarity on what that full moon in Libra is going to bring to the general collective, please make sure to go check that out on Patreon. Okay, I have both links of the, for the the way the video split, the 2 tiers. I have it in the tier for the full moon. Okay, so I love you guys so much. And again, if you guys would like to book a session with me, say you want to use more of the Fae energy, you don't know how, just email me. I check my email, but sometimes they don't come through. So if I don't answer, say you're a patron, you can always message me through Patreon. Okay, guys? So I love y'all so much. I'll talk to you later.